Bulginaka, do you know that cybercrime is becoming a growing problem in Fiji?
Cybercrime is defined as a crime in which a computer is the object of the crime, such as hacking and spamming.
Cybercrime is also cyberbullying and using fake profiles to cause panic and spreading false news.
If you're involved in this or know anyone who's committing.
In this bulletin, police officers suspected of planting drugs billed. Shooting videos on buses threat to safety. And river erosion affects villages.
The studios of FBC Suva.
And Robinaka, Fiji, 5 police officers who allegedly planted a bag containing methamphetamine in a vehicle appeared in the Suva Magistrates Court yesterday afternoon. Police Constable Rusiate Tunga Relase, Simeon Mbosulu, Inspector Absalome Vesikula, Samuela Antonio, and Constable Orisi Tukana are jointly charged with 1 count of conspiracy to defeat justice. Pranita Prakash has more.
Police Constables Relase and Basulu face an additional charge of abuse of office for allegedly arresting the complainant without any lawful basis and in abuse of the office, which was an arbitrary act. It is alleged that on 25th April last year, the 5 conspired with each other knowingly and maliciously accused a 23-year-old of an offence under the Illicit Drugs and Control Act of 2005. On the same day, without any lawful basis, Relase and Basulu arrested the complainant in the abuse of the authority of the office, which was arbitrary and prejudicial. They have been released on $500 bail bond on their own recognition. They have been ordered not to interfere with any of the witnesses and not to re-offend while on bail. The matter has been adjourned to 23rd April for plea. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
The Land Transport Authority and the Consumer Council are urging bus operators to be more stern with the behavior of the traveling public that can endanger other lives. The LTA says while drivers are responsible for public service, travelers must also exercise certain responsibilities. Koroi Tandolala reports the concerns come after some videos shot especially on buses are circulating on social media.
The two bodies, through close collaboration, are engaging bus companies in talks to ensure they find an amicable solution.
Whilst it is the responsibility of the bus operators to make sure that this does not happen in the buses, there's certain sense of responsibilities from the consumers or from the travelers as well, because they should know by doing that they are putting the lives of their loved one at risk.
The Land Transport Authority and the Consumer Council of Fiji will be working together to address grievances raised by the public and the public service vehicle operators. The platform will allow both parties to also address issues relating to safety concerns.
We can assist them where possible, but ultimately they are responsible for the conduct of the driver, and the driver similarly is responsible for the conduct of the passengers.
We should not be policing the passengers. They should be, sitting in the right seat and travel home safely.
The Fiji Bus Operators Association reiterated that it's important for the public to learn proper etiquette when traveling in public transport and to avoid any unruly behavior. Koroi Tandolala, FBC News.
Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama yesterday signed an agreement with the Japanese government for an emergency loan of $200 million as part of the COVID-19 response to revitalize the local economy. Bainimarama says the loan will allow to further strengthen the COVID-19 defenses, particularly the public health systems. He adds it will also equip the frontline workers as Fiji prepares to step through the door for the post-pandemic future. The PM says the key for post-pandemic future is vaccine, and Fiji is already advocating for the equitable access to the vaccine.
We cannot wait on the wealthy world's recovery. We must see our people protected alongside Americans, alongside Australians and Kiwis and the Japanese and of course the rest of the developed world. Anything short of that would be a moral and medical failure.
The $200 million loan comes with concessions such as 0.01% interest rate and 15 years of repayment period with 4 years grace period. The family of Faiz Ali, who was allegedly murdered at his home in New Zealand yesterday, is still in a state of shock. Speaking to FBC News at their residence in Sambeto, Nandi yesterday afternoon, the victim's elder brother, Tashlim Ali, says they are still trying to accept the tragic news. Christchurch police were called to the flat at around 7:35 p.m. on Sunday following reports of serious assault. Witnesses claim they saw a bloodied man carrying at a hammer fleeing the scene, and a man fitting his description was later arrested. Faiz Ali has been described by his family members as joyful, loving and a caring person. The heartbreaking incident has added more sorrow to the family who lost their father exactly a month ago. Faiz was always in contact with his family in Fiji and usually came down to visit them.
What can I express? It was hard for us to hear that he's normal. The time my brother-in-law told me that you're going to have to be strong, we want to tell you something about Faiz Ali, I got to know that there's something wrong. And then suddenly he said that he got murdered. Oh, I was just thinking of that, how would I able to tell my mom that he's normal? Because he's still going, she's still going through big pain that my father is normal, and it's hard.
Traditional leaders on Kadabu are hoping to engage religious teaching to help deal with the drug war on the island. During the Mboseni Bonua over the weekend, police revealed that the cultivation of marijuana on the island is increasing, and based on their recent findings, more people are getting involved. More than 17,000 marijuana plants have been uprooted from Kadabu so far this year, and police are seeking help from the Bonua.
Majority of the villagers found planting marijuana are young and need to be directed on the right path, and we believe religion can do that. Proper values need to be implemented.
Just in January alone and now February, 2 police teams were deployed here. The first team uprooted 1,713 marijuana plants, and the second team uprooted 16,029 plants. So far now 17,742 plants in total, worth of $28.6 million. In the midst of growing challenges posed by frequent natural disasters, a small village in the province of Naitasiri continues to show resilience. Vuninyunrobo village is home to over 200 families, and for many years they've been grappling with the effects of flooding. However, these villages continue to do what they can to mitigate risks of flooding. Following Tropical Cyclone Ana, Vuninyunrobo village experienced severe flooding that caused soil erosion. These villages have come together to make a difference in the lives of their children and other communities.
What keeps us going at this point is we work together as one unit or big family. Where someone needs food, we get together to help out. And we also see if we remain proactive in terms of trying to mitigate the challenges that comes with the frequent flooding we face.
Como villagers in the Lau group are grateful for the assistance rendered by the relevant government departments, non-government organizations and the United Nations office. This is after a team from these organizations visited a few islands in Lau last week, delivering services that are normally offered in urban centers. Villagers Saidi Tandu says they've been saying for some time to send the children to Suva to be circumcised, but the operation was conducted on the island without any costs. Tandu adds they welcome the services provided by the ministry.
We are really grateful for the health services being brought to our doorstep. Normally, we spend over $500 to bring our boys to Suva to be circumcised. This is a great relief for us as the service is done without any cost.
Up ahead, ACS shifts focus to Zone Meet and Fiji finals. And CBC win now water under the bridge from Bambasing Alliance. Stay with us.
Oira na ngone no de nunu ena be singa ni mataka.
Mersi sunga da kena loma dina kena mikron.
Sakena ngau na mitar lo bina nona baksa ngai ka bala loma taki na ngone. Dala bina oya wa meliki.
Bulre oya wa Samuel Samuli.
Nama kiki rau ena be mataka.
Boniti kena bagrombuka.
Ni boy tini kalima na miniti me ono kina tini na kaloko. Ena radio Fiji One na ndobo ibiti.
Indaw kina na mataka. Dan ramay na singabo.
Welcome back. The pressure is on for Kukul Games defending girls champion Andi Vakombo School heading into the Zone Meet and Fiji finals. Only a handful of athletes from the 2019 winning team are still with the school, as some have moved on further studies. Athletics coach Antonio Ramboiliku says the onus is on the younger athletes to showcase their potential. However, he says this is a challenge as most of them have not experienced a national level competition.
The thing is that we have our sub-juniors and juniors that we haven't run in the Coca-Cola games in any time because of the pandemic last time. This year again, this is the first time. So this is a big challenge for us to make sure that they step up to the level that we expect them to be.
The Pillay government's champion versus champion win means the Lambasa football team needs to work even harder. Coach Ravnil Pratap says fans will be expecting the team to maintain their winning streak heading into the National League. Pratap says the real work begins now.
Knowing that we have won the first tournament, now people expect us to perform better whenever we take the field. So we have to work hard. This is not the end of the world. We have to go back and then work harder than whatever we have achieved today.
The Lilin Memorial School Under-19 Rugby League team will need to step up their game for the remainder of the Fiji Secondary Schools Rugby League competition. Despite having a good putting in the first rounds of competition last week, then the Williamwood Brigade knows a lot of areas still need improvement in the team. With only 5 rounds remaining, head coach Ulaya Sivagatawakula says they are ready for the challenge ahead.
To improve on our defense, the laxity of our players, which lack concentration on the last quarter of the game.
Joseph Kwajo means business ahead of his March 20th showdown with South Pacific Boxing Championship Cruiserweight title holder Alberti Kauyava. The former welterweight champion has been hitting the gym over the last 17 months while awaiting his next professional fight. The wait has now ended as 35-year-old who is set to take the ring with Kauyava in the South Pacific Boxing promotion in Nandi next month. The Ghanaian national says he will bring his best and prove himself to the people of Fiji. We can expect a generally fine day with moderate winds and light scattered showers along eastern shores and in the interior of larger islands. There's a slim chance of isolated thunderstorms. That's FBC Morning News. Join us at 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. For news you can trust, get the facts from the FBC's TV, radio and digital news at fbcnews.com.fj. Take care and good morning.
हमारे खूबसूरत देश फिजी में चाइल्ड अब्यूज की घटनाएं आए दिन बढ़ रही हैं।
क्यों बच्चों का मासूम बचपन अब्यूज का शिकार हो जाता है?
अपने बच्चों की सुरक्षा का खास ख्याल रखें।
उनसे बातचीत करें, उनके दोस्तों के बारे में जानें।
आज के बच्चे देश का भविष्य है। मैं दीप्ति
और मैं मोनिश,
आपके हमसफर। शामिल हो जाए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे
5:45 AM से 10 AM तक
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर।